Hi, I'm Matt, and this is a special edition of the Story Coach Show. Yesterday, my friends and I covered a script called The Bunnyman for about 2 pages, and we might have been a little too mean. We got some feedback saying it was too snarky, and if that's the case, I apologize. The show's a work in progress, and we're trying to find our format, and we try and create a nice balance between snark and useful notes, and Bunnyman might have been too snarky. So I fucked up, and that's me saying it. I really try and do a good job on the show, and if I'm unfair to a script, I want to hear about it because as the show is about giving unvarnished criticism, it would be hypocritical if I couldn't take it myself. That said, let me take a look at the Bunny Man again and try and be more helpful and show both where it lost me and why I feel the script could be better. We start out with a lot of choreography. We have a lot of explanation on how dark it is, and then we have a lot of editorializing on what the house is like. But that is all distracting from the main image, which is this is about two kids who sneak out after curfew to go do some mischief. We have a lot on these two kids, a lot of description that doesn't really come into play. And a big thing is the main character is Kerr, spelled Cher, and given that that's not really a plot point, why not just spell it Kerr? Because it gives me more to think about, and the impression I get when I read something like this is, oh my gosh, I have to read 33 more pages of this. And given that this is a short film, keep it short and sweet. We have a lot of sneaking out, and eventually they pick up another member of the party, Jeremy. And then after that, two little girls scare them, disguised as monsters, so that happens. And it takes a long time for them to finally get to where the action takes place, which is a clearing, where a kid named Raylan explains that this is the Scary Stories Club, and they all get together to tell scary stories. 8 pages in, you've got something that could have been established in 1 to 3 pages, and it's just too much setup. Finally, we get a bunch of scary stories. This is anthology style, Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. The kids tell a story, and we go into the story. But we don't really hear the stories. We hear them pitch the story, and we hear them tell the end of the story, and then they're done. And this happens again. And this happens again. And again. And again. The script is called The Bunnyman, and it takes for about 16 pages for the Bunnyman story to even be told. So by the time the Bunnyman story begins, we're 16 pages in. We've had setup that could have been delivered in 1 to 5 pages, and we've spent half the time dealing with something that is not the story, just a lot of setup. And then finally we get into the Bunnyman story, which is illustrated with cutaways, which is the only story in the script which is illustrated with cutaways. And regardless of the merits of this particular bit of the story, which is the money part, which is what should be focused on, it took 15 pages to get there, so the reader goodwill is essentially burned out. That's just my 2 cents, and I'm not saying this is a bad script, I'm just saying it's a script that could have gotten to the point a lot faster and possibly had more impact had it made that choice. So apologies to anyone who was offended by the earlier broadcast, and apologies to the author of The Bunnyman, who did a good job writing a script. It's just not my cup of tea, and given that this was submitted to our Read My Script for Feedback, that is my feedback, and thank you for watching.